Hi, everyone, and welcome to another webinar by Ancora Elements. This evening, we have Keyur Shah with us, who's doing Microsoft Azure's pivotal role in project success, a one-stop solution. And I would like to say that Keyur is a technical project manager with us at Ancora. And as a QA lead and project manager, he has over 9 years of experience in the software testing industry. He also has a proven track record of implementing high quality standards and procedures, ensuring client requirements are accurately executed, and monitoring various processes. He is also a certified Scrum Master and ISTQB certified tester foundation level. He has received several awards from his work in the software industry, including the Bug Hackathon from Encora, the Customer Success Champion Award from Encora, and Employee of the Year Award in 2018 from Atlas Software Private Limited. He also has a keen interest in playing volleyball and chess and is an avid gamer. So, without taking too much time, I'd like to hand this over to Kayur. Thank you.
Thank you, David, for such kind introduction. And also, I think looking at my LinkedIn profile, you gathered many information related to even the projects and work that I worked in another company. So yeah, thanks for that. Yep. Good evening, everyone, and welcome and thank you for joining us today. My name is Keyur Shah. I'm working as a project manager at Encora. Talking about myself, so I started my career into software testing field where I worked for almost 6 7 years. Then I moved into QA lead for a couple of years, and then recently, from last 2 years, I am working as a project manager at Encora. And talking about today's topic is Microsoft Azure pivotal role in project success, one-stop solution. And we'll explore how Microsoft Azure not only supports but also enhances project outcomes across various sectors. So yeah, without wasting time, let's move on to the agenda slides. So we'll start with the first introduction to Microsoft Azure, where we'll kick off with an overview of Azure core capabilities and discuss its comprehensive cloud solution and robust security measures. We'll talk about a case study on e-commerce scalability and explore how the impact of real-time data processing helps on business operations. Then we'll move on to Azure DevOps, focusing on Azure boards and their role in agile project management. We'll also have a quick demo on that part along with integration and collaboration enhancement. Then we'll cover some strategies for effective pricing and cost management and how to leverage Azure for global reach and local compliance. And then on a closing remark, we'll have a quick Q&A session and as well as I have marked some additional resource for learning and documentation purpose. So that would be helpful. Now without let's dive into the and explore the power of Microsoft Azure. Before we begin on how Microsoft Azure is, I just want to thank you how you streamed a movie on a popular platform like Netflix or even watched a live sports event online. So, have you ever wondered how this services managed to deliver content seamless to the millions of users worldwide, especially when any new episodes occur or even during the final of World Cup 2024 that we recently over. So there are many cloud platforms behind the scenes. One of them I would talk about is Microsoft Azure, which is working tirelessly to ensure that everything runs smoothly on our device, our television, and our phone. This platform enables scalability, robust security, and seamless delivery, ensuring that our movie night or even the game that we are watching doesn't go off and it works without a hitch. That is how important Microsoft Azure and other cloud platform services are, that even end user like us, we won't be able to notice how many things are going in background, but there are n number of things where business have to rely on different cloud platforms, and one of them is Microsoft Azure. So today we are going to uncover how similar technology and infrastructure play a pivotal role in business and project success across different industries. So let's get started into the world of Azure and its capabilities. So moving to our next slide, let's take what is Microsoft Azure. So Microsoft Azure is not more than just a cloud platform. It's a comprehensive suite of services that empower businesses to innovate and grow. Obviously, this is kind of a textbook definition that I am speaking, but if we think about an Azure, think of it as an online shopping mall where instead of clothes and electronic, you can select from a wide variety of services such as computing power, storage solution, advanced analytic tools. So just as a mall is designed to cater every shopper's need, Azure is also built to diverse demand of business, whether they are large or small. That's how Azure is built. Uh, let's move to the next slides where we can see key features and capabilities of Azure. First and foremost is scalability. Azure provides on-demand resources. Imagine you are planning a large birthday party. Suddenly you realize you need more chairs, right? So just like you might rent additional chairs, Azure allows business to scale up their computing resource to meet the spikes in demand effortlessly and without upfront investment. So you do not need to invest in advance that, okay, I will need. Even if you need extra, Azure will provide on runtime. So that's where it saves on investment cost also. Flexibility. Whether you are a developer who loves using a Python, .NET, or Java, Azure speaks your language. It's like having an assistant who can ensure that communication and operation takes place efficiently with whatever language you know. That's how flexible Azure is. Hybrid capability. Now, all the business today operates on data center which are on premise as well as on cloud. So Azure provides that hybrid solution that makes integration seamlessly. It's like basically we use a smartphone that syncs our data both on device as well as to cloud. So wherever we go, we are able to access everything. Just like how Google Photos, we can access everything either on device as well as if we even log into another system. Talking about security and compliances, as we know, security is important for any business nowadays. So where Azure provides cutting-edge security technology to protect your data, ensuring that business operations are safe and comply with all the legal standard across the world. Global presence, Azure operates on global scale, like with data centers in more countries than any other cloud provider. This means that any business can deliver their services at global scale as seamlessly as a web conference call. Like currently we are doing like on a Zoom call, there might be people across the different continents. We do not need to bother. It is taken responsibility by Zoom and you do. So that is how Azure works on a global scale. DevOps supports. Azure excels in supporting DevOps practices, which streamline and integrates the process between software development and IT solution team. Like imagine a team like where communication flow as effortlessly as updates on our social media app, where everyone is instantly informed about changes and update. Even if you open any app like Insta, we get to know the recent news. Similarly, all the tools in Azure provides communication very easy, and all notification and updates are runtime available on our emails and even phone. So that is how Azure supports that. And lastly, if I talk about AI and machine learning capability, so Azure makes advanced AI accessible to even those who are not AI expert. Think of it like having a smart assistant in your home that learns our preference and automate the task which we need. Similar to like maybe at 7 p.m. light should turn on. So similar to that, Azure also provide tools such as AI and machine learning that enables organization to infuse AI into their application, improvising efficiency and intelligence without the need of AI expertise. So by using Azure AI capabilities, it can serve the purpose of AI also. So these are some main key features and capabilities of Azure. Now, as we have broad understanding of how Azure and its private and service are, let's take a look on comprehensive cloud solution that can be applied across different scenarios to facilitate business growth and operational efficiency. Moving on to the next slide, overview of Azure. Okay, talking about virtual VMs. If we can imagine that we need a new computer, but for a very short term project. So obviously we won't be buying a new PC directly because we need to check its specs, configuration, and everything. So whether what we can do, we can rent a PC for some time, and once we are done, we will return it. Similarly, Azure also provide virtual VMs that kind of facility that you can rent a VM for some time depending with the configuration you need. So we can use even powerful servers and on-demand services that Azure provides to a specific task that is needed without any long-term commitments. That helps in saving cost. Again, talking about database, consider vast amount of information a library holds. So imagine like if you need to access any book or research instantly without having to search through different shelves, it helps. Similarly, Azure database services such as Azure SQL database, Azure Cosmos DB offers high performance data handling and management, which is scalable to meet demand of any size of business. Talking about AI and analytics, like it's like having a consultant who analyze your data on 24 by 7. We do not need BA or someone. Somewhere Azure AI and analytics services will work like a consultant for us to help business make informed decision by processing and analyzing data very quickly and efficiently. Azure AD, it's like Azure AD is like security checks at entrance of corporate office. Like when we go to any office, obviously we have a card that needs access to their premises. Somewhere Azure AD also provides similar services, but in digital world, how it manages user access, securing app and data by verifying every login and authorization, ensuring that only legitimate users can access the company critical environment. So each of these solution plays a pivotal role in empowering business to operate more efficiently and adapt to the market demands rapidly and scale effortlessly. So that is how Azure helps. With Azure, companies have many tools that they need to success in competitive market, like similar to what we can say, like an athlete having n numbers of facilities to edge in the sports that we have recently seen in Olympics, having a advantage that is also good. So with Azure, companies have many advantage with all its services, and it helps in growing their business. Talking about different benefits of having Azure as a cloud as an integrator. So we talked about this a couple of things, but on high level, those are seamless integration Azure provides. It's having a centralized management, consistent hybrid capabilities, scalability and elasticity, cost efficiency, innovation and agility, security and compliance. So these are some major benefit of having an integrated cloud solution as Azure. Uh, Moving on to the next slide, as we have some understanding related to Azure capability, now I want let's discuss how real world application through a case study on e-commerce website. Mainly, I think everyone is aware on e-commerce website during Big Billion Days or Black Friday or even December sale. So somewhere during all this sale, there is a huge amount of traffic that happens on the website, and many of the time we have seen that website either having a slow loading time or somewhere it breaks also. So let's talk about different challenges that any e-commerce website faces during this sort of activity. So first and foremost is high traffic volumes, as we already talked, like during any sales, almost 10 times user traffics are there. Then obviously scalability issue, whenever the number of users are more on the website, it have to scale on the server side also. That is one issue which e-commerce website face. Inventory management, because there are n number of sales happening, so they have to manage their inventory also quite well so that there is no loss of orders. Customer experience, that is the one which is needed nowadays. Like if customer is having a difficulty in experiencing like the website in easy way, obviously customer will move on to many other websites that are their competition. So that is one major concern. And security, as everyone knows, like nowadays data is important, so somewhere they have to manage all security also. So now how Azure helps in all this problem that are e-commerce website facing or any website facing during the peak time. So these are all Azure solutions that can help e-commerce website or any website to resolve those issues. First and foremost is auto scaling. Azure provides dynamic stability, which automatically adjusts resource based on traffic load. This means that as number of visitors to e-commerce site spikes, Azure can instantly scale up to the meet the demand, ensuring that website remains stable and responsive. Azure Load Balancer, basically it helps to distribute user requests efficiently across all available server. Like it prevents any server from getting a bottleneck. So if there are 10 requests, it will divide it into 5 available server. So it will prevent any single server to get blocked. Azure Content Delivery Network, Azure CDN, basically it catches static assets closer to the user's location. What it will do, it will basically drastically reduce the load time. Like it frees up the resource to handle dynamic content and transactions. The next is Azure SQL Database. It provides a fully managed relational database with built-in intelligence. During peak time, e-commerce require database that can scale dynamically to increase the load, to handle the increased load. So basically what it does, it eliminates the risk and complexity of managing the underlying infrastructure and mainly allows business to focus on the core operation. Business does not need to look into what Azure SQL database is doing in background. Somewhere it just rely on Azure and it helps to focus on their main operation, which is product and customer experience. And talking about Azure Application Insights and Azure Monitors, it plays a crucial role. Basically, it offers deep insight into application performance and real-time monitoring and even alerts. Basically, when we see that, okay, there is n number of users and after certain user, it will break down the server or something. Azure will provide a quick alert over the email that helps in doing effective solution at the runtime. We do not need to wait for a blocker to come up, and even in advance we'll have that insight. So that is how Azure Application Insight will help in increasing the user experience. And lastly, if we talk about robust security, it's important for any e-commerce platform because that handles sensitive customer data. So Azure offers comprehensive security features such as network security groups, encryption at all levels, and advanced threat detection. Azure security infrastructure ensures that customers' data is protected from cyber threat, as well as maintaining trust and compliance with many regulations such as GDPR, which is very much in Europe region, PCI, and many other regulation across the world. So this is how Azure will help any website when during the peak time by all this possible solution. So this case study not only shows how effective the Azure is in maintaining high traffic volume, but also highlights its ability to provide a seamless customer experience, which is crucial in retaining customer loyalty during such high-stake events. Now, let's move on to our next slide where we already talked about security and compliance, but let's talk in detail how Azure helps and what are the key features of Azure which will help in achieving that security and compliance across the globe. Let's move to next slide. So talking about security overview, let's talk about Azure Security Center. It's kind of having a digital security guard, like it provides unified security management and advanced threat protection across hybrid cloud environments. It continuously assess your environment and provide recommendation to strengthen your security posture. Somewhere it's help in increasing the security that business is providing by giving runtime recommendation. MFA, everyone knows multi-factor authentication nowadays. Like we have our phone where we have a phone lock on the screen, as well as if you open any social media app, again we have a lock internal on that part also. So somewhere it's kind of a double security we are doing it for any app. So similarly, Azure provides that multiple layers of security before access is granted to any data or application. And even a role-based access control, like only users with specific role assigned can access that module and others can be restricted. So both MFA and RBAC are important and which Azure provides quite effectively. Talking about Azure Firewall, it's like cloud-based network security service which protects your virtual network resource. It's like consider like having a high-tech fence across your digital assets. And lastly, if we talk about Azure Key Vault, it's an essential service for managing and safeguarding your cryptographic keys and secrets that we store on cloud applications. So somewhere if we talk about e-commerce application, it stores their API key, password, security, certificates, and cryptographic key very safely in Azure Key Vault. So that is where Azure Key Vault is really an essential service for any business to operate. And as we have talked about security, let's talk about even many different global standards that we have across the world. And a few of them we'll talk about it. The top and foremost is GDPR. Everyone knows that a few years back, Europe had this implemented across all the websites and other data related applications. So Azure ensured that personal data of resident in European Union is handled with utmost care and compliance. Talking about HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. For any healthcare application, Azure provides features that help protect sensitive health information. And basically, it meets HIPAA standard, which is crucial for patient confidentiality. ISO, IEC, and many other standards. Azure is compliant with wide array of international and industry-specific standards, ensuring that no matter where your business is, it will comply with the mandatory regulation. And if talk about FedRAMP and DoD compliance. So Azure meets the standard of Federal Risk and Authorization Management Program as well as Department of Defense requirement, which makes it suitable to use by US government and agency because it follows the rules and configure like standards given by US government. So it's easy for US government and their contractor to use Azure as its service. So it helps in growing their business also. And just a runtime example, like consider the health care provider that needs to store and process patient data. So with using Azure, they can ensure that all their services are compliant with HIPAA that we talked about, Health Insurance Portability Act. It helps in ensuring that all the services are compliant with HIPAA as well as it stores data of patient and everything and avoid any legal issue, which helps them to maintain its reputation. Any healthcare provider needs a reputation also for data protection. And somewhere they can focus mainly on health of patient rather than thinking on this compliance and security part. So with Azure, they can rely on their HIPAA standard compliance. And in today's world where we know cyber threats are becoming more sophisticated, so Azure integrated approach to security and then compliance helps business remain safe and in line with global standards. Now, as we have seen how Azure ensures security and compliance, let's shift our focus to how Azure utilizes its real-time data and analytics, which enables business to make informed decisions swiftly. So we'll move on to our next slides where we'll be talking about real-time data processing. So in today's world, like in a way, ability to process data in real time and extract actionable insight is a game changer for any business. Like Microsoft offers a powerful tool which helps transform raw data into valuable information rapidly. So if we talk about immediate insights, uh, let's talk about a coach, sports coach, where they have to make a strategic move during the game. So they have to get some insight, right? Actionable insight, so that runtime itself they can apply it on the game. Similarly, business also needs to react instantly to the changing condition. They can't wait that okay now let's observe and follow the pattern of other businesses. So Azure real-time processes allow company to analyze and act upon the data as soon as it's collected. They do not need to wait the optimizing operation on the fly somewhere. Enhance customer experience. I would take an example of a shopping app. Basically, if we follow Instagram, right, like whatever we see on Instagram, somewhere it appears on the shopping, like Flipkart or Amazon app also. So somewhere this is how a shopping app needs to do that. Whatever we are browsing, it will appear in real time. Similarly, Azure helps business provide personalized experience that meet customers' expectation at that moment. So that helps in enhance customer experience. Operational efficiency. So real-time data help in monitoring system and process data continuously, allowing for immediate correction and improvement, which leads to enhanced operational efficiency and reduced downtime. Somewhere it helps in reducing the downtime that we have in all the e-commerce or any websites. And talking about competitive advantage, obviously, if we have ability to act quickly on real time, that will help business to achieve uh, a pace higher than their competitors. So somewhere this advantage of real time data analytics is really important for any business to grow and stay ahead in today's market. And now, as we have talked about what is the importance of real time data processing, let's see what are the different tools that Azure uses to that. So there are mainly three tools that Azure uses for those. Obviously, there are n number of tools in background, but these are the main tools that helps Azure in doing this analytic. So one is Azure Stream Analytics. This tool make it easy to set up real-time analytics solution, like processing large stream of data from n number of things, like maybe device, sensor, cloud application, and many more. So it's like having a high camera in any like I would say mall, which is capturing each and every detail of the event that is happening. So similar to that, Azure also helps in processing large stream of data that might be coming from n number of things, and it process. The next is Azure IoT Hub. This service acts as a central message hub for bi-directional communication between IoT application and devices it manages. So it integrates seamlessly with Azure Analytics, Stream Analytics to process and analyze the large number of data in real time. And lastly, Azure Data Lake Analytics. For those dealing, like for those business dealing with massive data set, this service offer on-demand analytics job processing with a simple pricing model. And basically, it makes any business to have the services of big data analytics without paying too much. Like with Azure, it can at least use that services and process and manage the data that they have. So if we talk about like a real-time example, consider a retail chain who is using Azure to monitor their customer traffic and purchase behavior across stores in real time. So what Azure will do, it will analyze this data. They can adjust inventory level according to the data that Azure provides. They can change price dynamically according to the response, and even optimize store layout based on how which is the area which is most visited by customer. So it's, basically by doing this sort of activity, and obviously business will lead to improved customer satisfaction, even the sales will increase, and most effective is that operation would be more efficient. So this by using this the retail chain won't even like obviously will anticipate customer needs and will stay one step ahead of the competition. So ability to process and analyze data in real time is not just about speed, it's about the ability to make better decision and provide better services. So with Azure, business are not just surviving, they are even driving into this data driven world. Now, as we have seen how Azure handles real-time data analytics, let's take a look on how Azure DevOps services are and what is DevOps in in one line. So, if we talk about real-time definition, so Azure DevOps represent a suite of development tools, basically that help DevOps toolchain from deploying and like developing and deploying software. It's not just about automating the software delivery process. It's about enhancing collaboration across all teams in software development, from coders to tester to operation. It supports a range of programming language and integrate with existing tool in the ecosystem, making it highly adapted to any environment. Whether you are using .NET, Java, Node.js, Azure DevOps fits right in. And let's talk about which are the key components of Azure DevOps. Five key components that we'll talk about, and also we'll see it live on one of the project that we have created for dummy purpose. So main key component of Azure DevOps are Azure Boards. This is perfect for project planning using agile tools like Kanban, Scrum boards. It is like dashboard of your project that where you can visualize project progress of tasks and collaboration on the fly. Azure Pipeline. It offers CI/CD pipeline for building and testing code automatically and deploying it to any target. Azure Repos. It provides Git repository for managing your scorecard. Think of it like having a project library where each version of your application are safely stored and managed. That is how Azure Repo will help. Azure Test Plan, a tool which will help in doing exploratory testing of our application. Basically, it helps in ensuring that every release that we are doing to production are meets the quality of standard before it goes live. Azure Artifacts, it allows teams to share packages such as Maven, NuGet, NPM files, and more, and integrating package sharing into CI/CD pipeline. It's like having a storage room where all tools and components needed for building software are kept for easy access. Now, as I think we have, let's move on to real-time usage of how this looks like. So I created one Azure DevOps account on Microsoft Azure. Let's go to the first link, which will show how to create projects. So if I have not created this project, it would show a blank for you. And simply you can click on new project here. You can name the project that like name of your project. You can add the description. You need to select whether it should be a public project or private project. I have done it privately because it should be accessed only with the employee who need to work on this project. If we click on advanced, you will see version control. You can select the version control of your type. Even you can select work item process, whether your company or project wants to follow agile, CMMI level or Scrum. Somewhere this can be done. Let's go into the project that I have created for demo purpose. And if we see, the first and foremost is overview, where we can add all the project related details. It's like having a README file on the project where you will see everything, like where the plan of the project, how it started and everything. So all project related description can be added here. You can easily see the project states of number of work item created and what are the number of work item completed over the period of 7 days or the option. You can see all the members who are actively involved in this project, and you can also invite from here by adding the email address here. And mainly I wanted to talk about these five main key components. One is Azure board that we go into deep dive, but if we're talking about Azure repos, so we have files, commit, pushes, branch, everything. Azure pipeline have some modules related to pipeline environments, release library, task group, deployment groups. Test plan, as we talked about, testing, exploratory testing. So it have test plan, progress report, and runs artifacts for saving and sharing the nuggets and other files. So I will quickly jump to a detail like part on the board, which is real-time usage in the project management. So when you inside boards, when you click on work items, you will see all the work items that are created for this project. There are n numbers of filters you can use, like you can select whether which epic you want to see. You want to see issue task. If you want to check what are the number of tasks assigned to you, you can simply select this filter assigned to me. And if you want to see for other users, you can simply select the name of the person, and you can select, you want to see whether what state the task is, whether it is in doing stage, it is in backlog, or it is already completed. You can select the project name, and also the if you added any tags that can be visible. And one major advantage here is like you can import work item also somewhere. If you feel that you have Excel sheet with all the details, you do not need to create this manually, that you can even import it by using the standard Excel sheet, like standard format that they have mentioned. And okay, so this was some filter section that we talked about. Let's move on to the board, which is being used in day-to-day call by asking teams update. Somewhere, if you see, there are five different columns here, like to do, blog, doing, in QA, done. So this is the workflow that is being followed in key demo project. Consider this is a project where this workflow is being followed. That any work item that is not yet picked up by any developers or QA, it will be in to do, that this is the task that we have to do it in current sprint. Any task which is in block state, they can simply move it to block so that we can discuss it and we can prioritize more, because this is somewhere it is blocked. Doing is something that any dash work that you guys team is doing, it will be in doing stage. Once development is completed here, it will move to the in QA stage where QA will complete its testing and it will move to done stage. But this generic flow won't be applied to each and every organization or project. So Azure provides customizable like workflow. You can simply add it with the workflow that you need. For example, maybe I need one column which should have peer review also. So after development is completed, you won't be sending it to QA. You will need a peer review also. So you can simply uh, add a column here. You can just change it next after state so that any after development it is moved to QA like in peer review stage. So once this is completed from development, it can be checked by peer review. So this is how you can move from here to there, and there are n number of other settings you can display which are the fields should be visible on the board directly. Like if I want to like who changed it recently, you can add that field also. You can have a styling guide somewhere. Consider you want to see if any dashboard is like any ticket is blocked. You can simply write that if there is a tag called block, it should be visible in this or that color. So basically, how it will help? It will simply help in seeing that okay, anything in red color, that means it is high important. So this can be done. Even by adding tag colors can be done. This we already talked about. Any column you want to edit in the workflow that can be done. So this is how customization of Azure board can be done. If I go to backlog, all the work items that are created will be visible here, as well as if you see like for sprint project, you will be also seeing the work item that has been selected in current sprint. Like there are two kind of backlogs. One is product backlog, which is kind of a work that has been estimated from very beginning of the project, and every sprint what we do, we take some portion of it, and that is called sprint backlog. So somewhere in sprint we estimate that okay, we will be doing this 10 users to be in couple of weeks. Like sprint is having 2 week sprint, 1 week sprint. So if you consider 10 working days, that is 2 weeks sprint, estimating our efforts, and we'll be selecting those in sprint backlog. So that is how backlog can, we can start our like we can also advance our sprint. Like basically sprint 2 is there, which starts from 12th of August to 23rd. We can plan next sprint also in okay, after completion of sprint 2, these are the tasks we need to pick in sprint 3. So we can create sprint and add from product to sprint backlog. So we can also present the plan to our client or existing stakeholders. So this is how, like, if you want to see task board related to sprint 2, we easily be able to see what are the and what's the status of each task. Yeah, and then we move to next section, which is query is basically really important on having Azure dashboard. So somewhere if I want to see overview of the project status, I do not want to go to this board section and see okay which individual developers or QAs or anyone is doing. I can simply go in here and I will be able to see the detailed overview of this project, that okay, there are, if I want to talk about there are one ticket which is assigned to me and it is in doing state. If there are n number of other users, you will be easily be able to see all these things. And this dashboard have n number of widgets that Azure provides, and you can add it according to the need of you. That okay, if you want to see how many bugs are created, you can simply create a chart for that. That okay, today there are 10 bugs created and how many were resolved. So this is how Azure will simply show you one view that is being created in many of our projects. Also, this is how the Azure dashboard would look like. So, as a client or stakeholder, I won't go into, I will simply have this as my screenshot that okay, in current sprint, 24 work items have been planned, 20 were completed in last sprint. What are the my backlogs? How efficient is like everyone is? Which are the work items where I am mentioned? So somewhere with just one view of the dashboard, you will be able to see everything related to project. So that is how Azure dashboard would be helpful. I will quickly show you how you can use queries. For example, let's move to the queries. Okay, so one query which I created, like assigned to me. So what we can do, like just go to this editor tab. If I want to see any other users tickets on the board itself, that okay, on the dashboard, it should be visible that okay, KU have one ticket, ABC have two tickets. So that can be managed from here itself. Now, if I want to see any tickets which are closed, so I do not need to see this query, run this query every time. What I will do, I will just save this query with a different name, and then I will go to Azure dashboard, and I just need to select, let's go edit. 1 second. Yeah. So here in configuration, you can simply select that, okay, what you want to see here. So currently I selected the one which have all the work items. But if I want to select another query, I can simply select it from here, and that item would be visible here. So that is how the real-time use of dashboard and Azure boards and others are. Now coming back to our slides where we talked about Azure board pipeline, Azure repos, test plan, and artifact. Uh, let's move deep dive into Azure board, which is really useful for any project to succeed, because Azure board is somewhere that it helps in tracking all the work items that we have. It provides a powerful tracking system, enable teams to plan, track, and discuss work across the project. It's basically designed to support agile project management methodologies and provide flexibility for continuous delivery and improvement. As now we have already discussed that, okay, work item tracking. So just how we seen that it's like a to-do list that helps you organize and prioritize your daily activities. Azure boards allow teams to track work items like user story, bug, task, and features. Each item can be tracked with detailed information, statuses, and their progress. Kanban boards also. Imagine a board with sticky notes, each representing its task. So Azure boards allow that flexibility of using Kanban board also, which where tasks move from one column to another column, representing different stages of development process. So this helps in visualizing the workflow and managing the work in progress. Sprint, as you already seen that Azure provides ability for sprint planning and tracking also, which so that it's easy for having a roadmap for a short and focused work task. So that it helps in achieving the future deadlines. And let's talk about other benefits that we already seen. Like it's having improved visibility. Like every member on the team would be able to see what are the different updates, how tasks are flowing of other developers. So it's help in creating transparency also among everyone, and which helps in achieving the project goals and even seeing the current status of project. Enhance collaboration. The integration of Azure board with other Azure DevOps services ensure that collaboration is seamless, like whether it is through a direct integration with connecting tickets with the linking commits and pull request. This helps in making teamwork effective and efficient. And adaptability. So project often evolves, so the tool also should evolve. So as we have seen, Azure board is highly customizable, allowing team to adapt their methodology and workflow. We already seen that we were able to change the workflow as per our need. So whether we are small startup or large enterprises, Azure board scales to meet your project management demands. So by utilizing Azure board, a team would be able to maintain clarity on project objective as well as adapt quickly on changing requirement and improve overall team productivity. Moving to our next slides, all this is really important, but somewhere if we know that in any development process, understanding the impact of changes and efficiency of workflow is important. So somewhere it's not about only deployment and management of project, but it also need of reporting and analytics. Somewhere this Azure tool basically will help us to monitor, evaluate, and continuously improve our development practices. let's see what are the different tools that Azure will help. One major is Azure Dashboard. As we have seen, it is highly customizable, which provide teams with real-time overview of their projects. Similar to how our car dashboard is, it will show speed of the car, even fuel level, engine health, and everything. So similarly, Azure Dashboard also display project metrics such as build success rate, deployment frequency, and even open bug count and any other things that are required for project monitoring. Azure Analytics Services. Basically, this service in Azure will supply rich amount of data about your project, which can be used for creating detailed report and insights. This includes work item tracking, version control statistic, build and release data. It's like having a BA who constantly review a project performance and suggest improvement. That is one major advantage of Azure Analytics Services. And real-time monitoring. A team can configure real-time alerts and notification based on specific trigger. Like if we see that, okay, there are 10 or maybe 100 or more bugs are created, we can instantly create a trigger. Similarly to server capacity also, we can create a trigger that will see an alert as soon as it reaches to a specific threshold. So that helps in proactive management of project health, and we can timely mitigate that issue. So really how Azure helps. Now, integration of Power BI with integration with Power BI for advanced reporting, somewhere advanced data visualization. So by integrating with Power BI, Azure DevOps allows team to create more complex reports and dashboard that can incorporate data from various sources. This like it's having similar to advanced GPS that we use in our mobile phone. Like it also suggests the best route as well as according to our traffic, like driving habits, weather condition, and everything. So it not only navigates us, helps us navigate. It also helps in going to the best route according to different criteria. Sharing insights. So this detailed reports and dashboard can be shared across the organization. So it provides stakeholder with insight into project progress and health. This ensures that everyone from the team member to top management has the information and that everyone are on the same page and make informed decisions well in advance. Customizable reports. As we have seen, like user can create custom reports tailored to specific needs. So this reports not only incorporates data visualization such as Gantt chart, histograms, uh, even other advanced report can be created according to the need of the project, and which can be useful for tracking project timeline, resource allocation, and performance metrics. In short, basically, reporting and analytics capabilities of Azure will help driven any business smart decision, like it increase project transparency and foster a culture of continuous improvement. Now let's talk about DevOps agility and how Azure supports rapid development and deployment. So if we talk about integrated tooling, so Azure provides seamless integration of various DevOps tools such as Azure Repo, Azure Pipeline, Azure Boards, and Azure Test Plan, which support continuous CI/CD. Basically, this integration helps streamline workflow from code commit to deployment. Next is automated workflow. Azure pipelines automate the build, test, and deployment phase, which allows for faster delivery cycles and reduce manual errors. This automation extends to infrastructure provisioning and management using Azure Resource Manager and Azure Automation. Scalable infrastructure. Azure Cloud Infrastructure supports scaling up and down dynamically, which is crucial for handling varying load during different stages of development and deployment. So this flexibility ensures that resources are optimally used, which eventually reduce the cost and improve performance. And the global network, we already talked about that. Azure extensive global networks enable faster deployment across region, which in a way reduce latency and improves user experience worldwide. Uh, like let's talk about a real life example where there's a fintech startup that wants to streamline their software delivery process. So they need to rapidly develop and deploy updates to their platform in resource to changing financial regulation and market conditions. So their challenge is basically they want to develop and deploy updates to their platform, but the other challenges are financial regulation and market conditions. So some like if we talk about how Azure will help here, Azure repo will be helpful in here for using source control to manage code base and changes if efficiently. Azure pipeline can be used to implement automated build test deployment, enabling multiple deployment per day with minimal downtime. Azure board leverage for tracking per progress, coordinating tasks among development, operations, and quality assurance team. Global presence and security. Azure global reach in its ability with all different global security standards will really be helpful in maintaining the challenge related to financial regulation and market conditions. So these are some real-time action that Azure can be helpful in mitigating the challenges that were mentioned. Now moving as we have seen about how Azure DevOps will help. Now let's talk about Azure pricing and flexible pricing models also, because somewhere pricing is this ones which is really important for any business. If price is also high, it won't be feasible for business to use Azure. So let's talk about that. Major advantage of Azure is that it is having pay as you go. Like we talked about that, and it would be ideal for any business who want flexibility without long-term commitment. So you only pay for the resource that you use, like which means costly directly with the consumption. Like if I am not using any resource, it won't charge. Even if I have taken that, okay, I have 10 resources on my, but if we are not using it, it won't charge. That is how pay as you go. Reserved in instances. So if we commit to Azure services for 1 or 3 years, businesses can enjoy significant discount compared to pay as you go services. So this is suitable for predictable workload where resource requirement are very stable. Then there is another benefit of spot pricing. Like we can take advantage of this deep discount by Azure unused capacity. But only a negative point is that if Azure need it, it will take it back. But basically, this is useful option for any flexible and uncritical workload. So that spot pricing feature can be used. Azure hybrid benefits it we can save on cost by applying existing on-premise Windows Server as SQL Server licenses to Azure services. So that is how some major advantage of Azure pricing. Talking about free account and pro account created. So I created a free account which will provide limited access to many Azure products and services for almost 12 months. And plus, there are set of services which are always free. So in a way, this is helpful for small projects and even learning and initial development and testing phase. But as for a business, when you go from free trial to pro feature, Azure offer extended capabilities with greater performance guarantee, higher service limit, and obviously customer support, which is useful for enterprise grade applications. And if we do have a detailed pricing link mentioned in the end, like which you will see that what are the different features of free and pro version. We'll quickly move to our next slides, where we can see how what are the different tips and tricks which is useful to save cost. We can set budget and alerts. We can analyze and optimize. We can even tag resource. We can scale strategically. We can even delete the unused resource, which in a way will help in reducing the cost. So these are some important factors which are important, like which are required for any business to grow without wasteful expenditures. Now, as we have wrap up our discussion on Azure cost management, let's move to our final topic, that is Azure global reach and local presence. Let's move quickly to the next slides. We talked about Azure global infrastructure. So Azure data centers are present in more than 60 regions globally, each with one or more data center, making it one of the largest network of data centers among the public cloud providers. Availability zone. Many Azure regions are equipped with many availability zone where physical separate locations within an Azure region. So each zone is made up of one or more data centers which are equipped with independent power, cooling, and network. This really helps in achieving that efficiency. And global network. Azure backbone network connects data center to more than 165,000 miles of fibers and undersea cable system, ensuring that high availability and reliability for their hosted services and applications. Moving on to our next slides of benefits of data residency and local compliance. Data residency, like we talked about European Union, where data needs to be reside in a specific region. So this allows customer to store their data in their specific region, which helps in meeting that local data protection guideline. This is really crucial for organization in highly regulated regions like healthcare, finance, public sector. Local compliance is Azure adheres to national, regional, and industry-specific governing bodies and the use of data. And we already talked about many compliance which Azure already have: GDPR, HIPAA, FedRAMP, SOC 1 to ISO 27, and all. Performance and latency. Hosting data in a local data center, basically it reduce latency for end user and improve the performance of application and services significantly. So that is good in requiring in real-time data processing and real-time analytics. And customized solution. Azure provides market-specific services that are tailored to meet the need and presence of local audience, as well as if you want to move to global level, that also can be achieved. So somewhere customized solution Azure is providing. Yep. So Azure global infrastructure coupled with many local options and which helps business to grow locally as well as to go expand internationally by respecting the regional norms and laws. So that is how Azure is providing benefit of data residency and local compliance. Yep. That's about Azure security and compliance. And let's move to the conclusion. So yeah, as we conclude, like how Azure helps in providing vast array of services which empower any business and project by using its scalability, by using security and performance data, real-time data analytics, even managing global deployments. Azure has all this capability, which will assure that any project and business runs without worrying into that underlying infrastructure that Azure have. Yep. Uh, as we as we conclude, I hope this presentation helps you in understanding how Azure helps businesses, as well as what I have done is that I have catered many useful links which will help you to grow and learn. One is Azure Learning Center. There are default YouTube channel which Azure have created. There are many blogs where you can read. We have a huge community of Azure which is really helpful, as well as there are many training which LinkedIn is also providing. So these are all the resources that can be used and helpful. Yep. Any question, anyone, before we wrap up this detailed journey of Azure capabilities and its pivotal role in project survey success? In case if anyone have any query, please feel free to drop comment on the YouTube post, as well as feel free to reach out via email to NPTL as well as Encora. We'll try to resolve the query over the time. Yep, David, I think I'm good for it. David Vignes.
Yes, 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 yes. We do have one question, and the question is, are these data centers going to be redundant as green data centers are coming up?
I won't say redundant, like there are many things newly coming up. So as you like Microsoft obviously will be changing its infrastructure to the latest technology that is coming up in the market. So it won't go redundant. Obviously, it will use their like it will convert to a specific new tech that will be coming up. Obviously, I have to deep dive into the green technology that you are talking about, but somewhere it will obviously use instead of getting it redundant.
That's the only question we had, Keyur.
Okay. Yep. I would say then thank you once again for your time and engagement today. Like, I hope this session was informative and inspire you to continue your journey and learning phase with Azure. You can use all these links, which I will be maybe posting it on a LinkedIn post. You can see from it, and you can transfer your project and organization with the power of Azure. Yep. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, Keyur. And before we go, there's also a comment saying amazing insights. So thank you, Keyur. Thank you for
Thank you so
presenting
much.
today.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.